Albert Einstein once said, quote, "The more I study science, the more I believe in God," end quote. This was as referenced in the Wall Street Journal article titled "Science Resurrects God" by Jim Halt. Over the past couple of years, I've watched lectures, attended debate, and studied classes on evolution versus creationism, and have come to the conclusion that the theory of creationism is most supported and most reliable, backed by science. So why does this matter? Well, if we accept the theory of evolution, that we were just here by chance, then life has no meaning. We're here just to simply live out our life on Earth and eventually die one day with nothing else to live for. However, if we accept the idea that we are designed by an intelligent creator who has a meaning for our life, then everything changes. You see, our view on where we came from ultimately determines the way we live our life on a day-to-day basis. So, for this speech, my theory is that science actually supports the biblical view of creation. Science has done so in the past and continues to do so today through recent scientific findings. First, let's explore the ways that science has supported the Bible in the past. First is through the theory of the earth. It was believed at a time by many of the earth scientists that the earth is flat. However, years ago, thousands and thousands of years before, the Bible had already said in Isaiah 40:22 that the earth is a circle. Although many people rejected this idea at first, scientists eventually found that the Bible had been right all along. Secondly, it was thought that science was only limited to what could be seen. But the Bible had already said in Hebrews 11:3, creation is made of invisible elements. Scientists later discovered the existence of atoms, proving the Bible true. Now let's consider the recent scientific discoveries that support creationism over evolution. The first is that order does not come from disorder. The Institute for Creation Research article titled "The Summary of Scientific Evidence for Creation" says this, quote, "The second law of thermodynamics states that matter and energy always change from complex and ordered states to disordered states," end quote. What this means is that in science, you'll never see something changing from disorder to order. It will always go from an ordered state down to a disorderly state. The article goes on to say that the Big Bang theory of the origin of the universe contradicts this law and can only be accepted by faith. This is because the Big Bang theory says that there was chaos and order, and from all this disorder and chaos came the entire universe as we know it today. What scientists fail to realize is that by saying this, the Big Bang theory actually contradicts the second law of thermodynamics. Second thing we have to consider is the lack of transitional forms. You see, if we were to believe that apes eventually evolved into humans, then we would need to see fossils that looked partly like apes and partly like humans. And scientists have claimed that they discovered these fossils in the past. According to 6000years.org, an article titled Evolutionist Hoaxes, it's listed 10 different hoaxes that evolution have came up with in the past, including the Piltdown Man and the Nebraska Man. In these instances, science intentionally falsified fossils, putting pieces of human and ape skeletons together to look like one big skeleton, which they call the missing link. Later, this was discovered to be one big hoax where they were simply trying to prove that evolution was true. It was completely a lie. So how did these two happen? Well, the Bible says that God created both man and animals. It lists no transitional form, and to this day, no transitional form has been found. So, in the past, science has supported the Bible and continues to do so to this day. I'd encourage you, when you're considering the origins of the universe, to consider the possible idea that maybe, just maybe, the universe was designed by an intelligent creator. I'll leave you with this. If I were to tell you that the four faces of Mount Rushmore happened just by chance, that over the millions of years, the four faces that were carved into Mount Rushmore were actually from rocks eroding just perfectly to form the nose, the eyes, the mouth, and the four faces of all these historical figures. Well, you would laugh at me and say, I'm crazy. There's no way that could have happened. So how can you believe that the entire human system, our DNA, animals, and our entire universe came just by chance? This is pretty unlikely. You see, it takes more faith to believe that all this happened through evolution and by chance than it does to believe that a creator intelligently designed our universe. Thank you.